So welcome back. New day, new job. And the job today is probably one of the biggest ones of the year. And it's got a big following, and I understand why. And of course, it is the silage pit. We're going to open the silage pit today. Well, lad, before we start into this silage pit, if you haven't watched the first part of this, when we got these covers and stuff put on, you may want to go back and watch them, because this will make a lot more sense. But to make it short, Rhino Products contacted us, and they said to us, basically, we'll offer you a free set of covers, a free net, and the clean film that goes underneath, if you're willing to try out a new way of covering your pit and show it on your video. So some of you might say, yeah, free covers, free net, yes. Well, I didn't do that. I didn't really know what to say back. Yes, I appreciate the offers, great, but this is my silage pit, and a lot of farmers, if you're not from the farming background, it's pretty important. It's very important. One thing you don't want to do with a farmer is mess with his father. Just literally said to them, is there anyone else using this? Because I don't want to be the first person doing this. I want to hear of somebody who has done it already and has been successful. So he told me a few guys who hadn't a clue who they were, but he told me one by his name that I didn't know, and he's a real meticulous farmer, a real good operator. So that gave me a big boost in confidence, and they told me he's been using it for the past 2 years. So if he's been using it for 2 years, this guy, and he's not on YouTube or any social media website at all, he's just a good farmer. If he's happy, then I'll be happy, because he would be fussy and I'd be fairly fussy, but no one wants to lose any of their silage pit. I give them the green light on it, and of course one big benefit was they're going to send a few of their own men to do the work for me. It's great to get the help when you're covering the pit, regardless of YouTube or anything. So that really won me over a lot. I'll be straight truthful on that. They came out and they started working on the pit before the silage went in. Last year we opened our pit and I wasn't happy. Now, a few people said to me that I shouldn't really worry about the amount of waste. It's only a box or two of the sides. It wasn't a box or two of the sides. We have a tipping trailer up there, a blue tipping trailer. You know what, you've seen it on our videos. And I filled that tipping trailer from one side. That's the waste that we had. And that was a lot of waste. We're not talking a couple of inches, we're talking right in. I don't know what caused that, because we had 4 covers, which again, people might say is too much. Some people just say 2 covers, walk away on 2 covers. Everyone's different. My father's always swore by 4 covers, and I didn't change it. I just stuck with that. It didn't matter. We weren't buying 4 covers now. We bought 1 new cover, threw away whatever cover was damaged the most, and always kept 3 covers, if that makes sense. So everybody's different. That's just the way we did it. I'm putting it down to just air getting in at the sides. It's very hard to seal the sides. So a lot of you might instantly say, then why don't you put covers over the walls? All right, I did do that 1 year. The first year we had the pit in, and it was a windy time, and it got torn and everything with the pins of the rake hit it. It wasn't the same guy who does our silage as doing it now. It wasn't their fault. They just couldn't see what they were at. So that was back in 2001, 2002, and I've done without it ever since. But these guys said, if you allow us, we'll put the covers back over the walls again. So they put 2 brand new covers over the walls. I said, look, no problem, work away. As long as it's done right and you think it's a good job, I'm welcome to go along with it, because a lot of people's going to be watching this and they might like to see how that turns out. So, but just let them run whatever they wanted to run with. Right, so I'm just standing in the shed here for a second till that shower rain passes. Always rains when you go to do a job like this. It was lovely and dry when I started. But anyway, moral of the story is you have your 2 covers then over the walls on both sides. Then you come along, put your grass in, roll your grass down, get your pit ready. You come along then with your cling film, or cling seal as you call it. And it basically is the very same as what you'd have in your house nearly. You wrap your sandwiches in it, you're using it probably, you've probably seen it sometime along in your life. It's the same thing. It creates a kind of a seal on your silage, just so everything is airtight. And that's the most important thing, getting things airtight. Then after that, yeah? 1 second, my father's just coming out to me here to have a word. Back to you in a second. Just sorry, I had to stop there for a second, because my dad came out and he wanted to see what the silage was like already. That's one thing that will get my father out of the house really quick. Told him last night I'm going to be opening the pit this morning, and he's already out when he heard my voice thinking that I have it open. So that kind of gives you an idea. Oh, he's 88 years old, you never lose that touch. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, 2 covers on. Next thing I want on top of that was this green net in 3 sections, so that we can take it off. We're not having to roll it back all the time. We can take it off in sections, so there's no big weight involved, and put it away. It's totally reusable. The 2 covers underneath, hopefully we'd be fit to reuse, at least reuse one of them. We shouldn't really tear them. I can't see any reason why we would tear them. After that, these bags, sand in some and pea gravel in the others. Now, we didn't really get an awful lot of bags off them, because we had bags. We had been buying these bags. They're quite expensive little buggers, but we'd been buying them over the last few years. Before that, we used to roll up fertilizer bags and roll them up and put them down. You know what? They do every bit as good. These are just, look, they're just a new thing, and they're a little bit faster. So that's kind of the general run of it. I suppose the next thing we do now is start getting ready to open it. I'm going to take this gate off just to move it out of the way so I can film it a wee bit easier. Now I expect there to be waste on this side. The reason I say that is if you look here and see this side, there's no sinkage at all. It's nice, it looks exactly like the way we covered it. This pit really didn't sink a whole pile. If you remember, there was good conditions when we put it in, so I didn't really expect it to sink. Probably sank about 4 inches or so, and that's about all. So very, very little. If you go over this side, it did sink. I don't know what it is about this corner, but this is the corner we always seem to get the most waste on. So there is a soft area there, so I'm expecting waste there. Perhaps very little waste on this side. We'll have to see, I could be completely wrong. So what I'm going to do is now strip off this back of this pit, stack these bags onto a pallet. Yes, I've learned from you. A lot of you said to me, Asian, would you not just put your bags onto a pallet, save you having to double handle them? And you're right, you're absolutely right. And now the fact that I have a set of forks, which I didn't have before, that's exactly what I'm going to do now with the 54. And I'm going to put them all into a pallet and stack them. That way, I can just lift the pallet up again in the summertime and just cover it much, much easier. It was all going so well until I realised I made a little amateur mistake and put the loader on top of the green cover and I couldn't pull it up. Yeah. Just actually getting windy now in the middle of it all. You can see my tripod took a little tumble. So we're on to this film now. You see these little marks here? It's interesting to see. But these little marks is where the bags was. See all the marks, individual marks? And now you can know, we're going to look at it closer and open it. I see dark silage, I see bright silage. Just because the weight was on it. Well, that's going to make any difference? I don't know. I'm going to open it now. Don't worry. I'm getting there. But I just want to show it in stages so you guys can see it for yourself. Doesn't matter what covers or whatever you go for. If you go down this lane, at least you get a proper look at it, and that's what this video is more about. All right, it's open. And you know what? There's a couple of things I can say here. I could jump up and down and tell you I'm absolutely over the moon, and then you might say, he's only saying that because he got the covers for free. Okay, so what way will I put it then? But you know what? I'll let you decide. Look at this pit. See this dark? Look. Can you see that in the camera? The smell is divine. Side. Look at the side. No waste. Until you get to just here. Lift that cover over the way. There's a hole. Just there on that corner. And I said before I opened it, I knew there was a hole there. But along the top, there's absolutely no waste. Across this side here, a little bit of white here where the bags were sitting. Let me pull it off and have a look. Get this cover out of the way. Get in as tight as we can. A little bit along there. Pull it out. Little bit, just along the very wall, but out a couple of inches, look. I don't know what to say about it. Great to see your silage so good. Opening a silage pit is always a nervous thing. Well, it is for me. I don't know what it's like for anyone else. It's not the end of the world, it's just silage. But between my father and myself, we always like to see that all the work, the fertiliser in the springtime, the slurry in the springtime, the work that goes into it and the money that's spent on it ends in a good result. And this is a good result. Sometimes trying something new doesn't always work, but it just goes to show trying something new can have its benefits. And the old tradition we had with our tyres and our floor covers, we were wrong. I'd say the whole thing is down to this film. The green cover is good though, it keeps everything from getting torn. The covers look like new. But this cover here, this clean film, probably is the game changer right there. This side, I don't know what happens there. I never understand that. But we'll see as time goes on. I'll come back to that. Don't you worry, I'll come back to that and let you know as that goes the whole way up. I have no idea what causes it. It's always on this side. But you compare this video to the last time we opened our pit. We got rid of some amount of silage and we always have a bit. Last year was really bad. I don't know why. Maybe it was the way it was rolled or whatever. I don't know why. So on YouTube it's very hard to show something, because if you ever show it in a positive light, people, as I said before, is going to think you're being sponsored by a company or something to say. I'm not being sponsored for this video in any shape or form. I was sponsored to get the covers put on this pit in the first video, but not for this one. And I had the discrepancy where I told the guys I was going to be honest, and that's it. My channel is going to be as honest as it comes, and if companies don't like that, that's their own tough. It's an honest channel. Top of the pit, look at it. I wouldn't eat it, not my diet, but Cattle's going to love that. There is water on top of that pit, but it can't get into the cover. It has to kind of overflow and either this way or run that way. I like the pit to slope the whole way this way, because it makes putting back the cover so much easier. Rolling this way, you have no water pushing the cover down the front. My father used to think the opposite. He said high in the middle, slope it that way, and then slope it this way. But that doesn't work. You'll get water and it always pulls the cover down in the end. I hated that. Anyway, it's getting windy, as you can probably hear. Now some of you might say, is it getting dark, Adrian? Yeah. It's just gone 3:30. It's starting to darken down. I started this about 10 to 12. I know I'm not had all the time. I had lunch and I had to actually do a run, and 2 people called me in the middle of it all. But it does take time to film things. It adds another hour or so onto the job to film it. But I think this was really important. I think a lot of people would like to see this. I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm not going to feed any of this evening because we have plenty of silage in there at the minute and in the other house. Don't you worry. I can't wait to show you a feeding video of this, because I know the cows is going to absolutely annihilate it. They're going to love it. Well, hopefully not eat it too fast, but they're going to love it. So folks, thanks very much for watching as always. If you want to see more of this kind of stuff or see how we get on as we go through it, don't forget, hit that sub, give us a like, ring that little bell. It'll notify you when our videos is up. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook and on TikTok. Till the next one, talk to you again. Boom.